Hello friends. Welcome back to this channel. In today's session, we will see some basic and frequently used commands in Docker. This is going to be a very easy and interesting session on learning the Docker basic commands. We will see all the very basic commands and frequently used Docker commands. So without any further ado, let's get start the session. So here, I am using the Windows command line. If you are on Mac, you can use your terminal. And if you are on Linux, then you can use the Linux command line. Now here, the only prerequisite is must be installed on your system. And this we have already learned in the earlier session how to install Docker. Now here, the very first command is docker version. As you can see, this command gives us the information about the Docker client and the Docker server, which is the Docker engine. Here we get the information about the version of the Docker client, then API version, the Go programming language version, and similarly for server, we get all this details. So this is going to be a very handy command if you want to look at your client and server version. Now the next command is docker -v. So this command only gives us the version of Docker. So as of now, I am on Docker version 20.10.16. Here also you can use docker --- version, which will be the same command, and it will give the same output. Now let's see our next command, which is docker info. So this command gives you a little detailed information about the Docker that is installed in your system. So here you can see, the very first section gives us the number of container, running, paused, stopped, and number of images. As of now, we do not have any images or container, so we are getting 0 for all these fields. Then the server version, the driver details, plugin information, and all other information. So if you want to have some quick look information on the Docker that is running in your system, you can run docker info command. Now let us come to Docker images. So the first command is docker images. This gives us the list of all the images we have. And of course here we do not have anything. So we use the other command to pull the image. Here I can say docker pull. And here I can give the name of any image. So if you are on Docker Hub, you can get any images. Here I will go to explore repositories. Here you can get any repositories. For example, let me say I want to get an Ubuntu image. So I will search for Ubuntu and press enter. And here you can see the Ubuntu image. If you click on it, it will show you the details. And here you can see the docker pull command, docker pull Ubuntu. So here I will say docker pull and then Ubuntu. You can see, it will use the latest tag by default if we do not provide it. And it is now pulling it from the library. And yes, it is done now. And now, if I say docker image, you can see, now it is showing us Ubuntu. And this image was created or updated 13 days ago, and this is the latest tag. Now our next command is docker rmi. Using this command we can remove the one or more images. So here we need image_id to remove image. So I will copy this image_id and paste it here. And now here you can see, this is now deleted. And now if I say docker images, now I don't have any image. Now let us come to container. So for container, the very first command is docker, then ps. So this command is used to list the containers. So here, as of now I don't have any containers. So what I can do is, I can use the other command, which is docker run. This command is used to run a container. Now for example, I am using docker run, and I will say Ubuntu. Now we have already deleted our Ubuntu image. So the Ubuntu image is no longer available on our system. So if I say docker run Ubuntu, you can see it says, unable to find image locally. So now it will start pulling it from library, which is Docker Hub. And then it will start the container. So you can see, it has downloaded the image. And now if I say, docker ps, you can see, still we do not have the container running, however we have the image, but we do not have the container running. So in case of Ubuntu, what we can do is, we can say, docker run, and we can use the -it flag. So if I go to docker run --help. So here you can see, the flag I is for interactive. And flag T is for allocate as sudo tty. So in the simple language, Here we want to start the Ubuntu system, Ubuntu container, and log into it, or start the command prompt of Ubuntu. So here I will say, docker, run, -it for interactive, then I can say Ubuntu. Now we can see, we are inside Ubuntu container, and we are on the Ubuntu system. So if I say, ls, you can see, we are now actually inside Ubuntu. So now, if I run the command, docker ps, I should get the container running. However, I cannot run it here, because we are inside the Ubuntu, so I am going to open a new command prompt. Now here if I say, docker, ps. Now you can see, the container running, and this is the container ID. So now we can run the commands, like docker start and stop. So let's say, docker, start, and this container ID. So it will start the container. And docker, stop, and the container ID, will stop the container. So now we have stopped. And if we go back, here you can see, it has automatically come out of that container, and it is now on our local system. Now let us see some system command. So here the first command is, docker, stats. This command gives us the details on the running containers, memory usage, the input-output, and so on. So let us try to again run our container. So I will say, docker, run, it, and Ubuntu. Again we are inside Ubuntu. Now here, you can see it is already showing us memory usage, and all. Then we have another command, which is, docker, system, df. So this command is used to check the disk usage of Docker. You can run this command, and it will give images, container, local volume, build, and the size which is being taken by all these Docker elements, and all the information about disk usage. Now let's see the next and last command, which is, docker, system, prune. So this command is used to remove all the unused data. Here you can see, it is giving me a warning. This will remove all the stopped container, all network not used by at least one container, all dangling images, and all build cache. So here let me first say, and let me show you all the image and container which are there as of now. So I will say, docker, images. You can see we have just an Ubuntu image. And if we say, docker, ps, here we have one container running from the Ubuntu image. So now if I run the command, docker, system, prune, and I say, why, here you can see the total reclaimed space. And again if I say, docker, images, here you can see, my Ubuntu image is still there. And if I run the command, docker, ps, here you can see my container is still running, because this container was running, and the image was being used, so it didn't delete them. So now, here if I say, docker, stop, and pass the container ID. So it will stop the container. So now if I say, docker, system, prune, and -a. You can see, it is giving me a warning. This will remove all stopped container, all network, and all images without at least one container. If I say, yes, it will remove all the unused data. So now if I say, docker, images, you can see, the image is deleted. So be very careful while using this command, which is docker system prune. So guys, these are the top basic commands in Docker. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I will see you in the next lecture. If you have any question or any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye and have a nice day.